Yes, I would love to load that. Alright, let's play with the jury. Alright. The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination. To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Oh, thank you. Glad you were holding out hope for me. Although apparently I fucked it up. Let's be fair here. Apparently I did not do a very good job. The missing few hours, blah blah blah. Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. So the jury likes me, but they don't like me. But in the end, what difference do they make? None, as far as I can see. And since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer. Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus'll blow her top. Actually, isn't that, like, usually a thing with juries now? Is, like, if you can prove it'll harm your, like, livelihood, they'll be like, they'll either pay you or they'll let you not be a member of the jury. Don't listen to me on legal stuff, by the way, because I'm not lawyer. But anyway. Huh? What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. How are you a doctor? Very well, let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
All of you. Well, it would appear the jury is indeed unanimous. Give me my summation examination. So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Ugh. Ah. I think Sham Spear is a sham, at least when it comes to being dead. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Miss Susato? What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? Guess what time it is? Summation examination. That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations, remember? Oh, I have to be tutorialized on this again, I suppose. Because it's like, well, what if you didn't play the first game? I played the first game. Stop tutorializing me! A summation examination. Yeah! Look at that! Ain't that nice? You still have a shot. Especially if I get this right. Which is important. That's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. The tutorial. But here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. Let's give the good old college try. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination. Well, listen. I believe that my client did not commit the attempted murder that you believe he committed, so I want to make that known. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. I know this is a case in the past, but come on. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man, and straight up, there's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare that the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Let's look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least. I really don't care, I just need this trial to end quickly. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspear is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. Something, what I keep calling interpretive dancing. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes. Let's not forget, I've pleaded with the jury on Saseki-san's behalf before, and it worked. So, you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly exactly how it works. You're still very new to British law, after all. Tutorial. It's true, I suppose, and Saseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. It's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Susato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again, or not bother? I know what I'm doing. I'm good. Thank you for the kind offer, Miss Susato, but I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Let's go! It just shams to be in the back like, hey, hey. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Look, point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea. When you take the gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Ah, well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman, with a gentleman's values. If it turns out the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'll gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening. Eh? What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? All right, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you've said. Humph. If you can show me the victim's a liar, I'll reconsider my position. I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. Why do you think he's splendid? I don't know, I'm just... Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say, yet again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously, it's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. I apologize, give me a second. Yeah, that was falling. I'm sorry. There's something like draped over the back of the chair and it was falling off and it was uncomfortable and... You know. Anyway, Natsume is not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much. Alright, juror number 3. Is the mustache the only thing you're finding fishy?
Hold it!
Not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty. But he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact. He's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps? Like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance. You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though. And you're on the wrong foot. There's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. But the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh, that's another 3 steps. Well, this really does seem more and more like a waltz, doesn't it? Right. And the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more. For now. A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam? It really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for the fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Good gracious, Altamont Gas, you say? Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree. Uh-huh. Okay. So... Okay. Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course. Of course. Ah, I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamspear was up to in his room? I'm afraid there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go to in order to steal our gas. Sentences. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shamspear is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an Altamont gas explosion. So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement? My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart that you enjoyed? Little before the part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could shift the balance. The victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality, he's a common thief of my company's gas. Okay, so Juror 1 was like, hey, if you show me the victim's a liar. But Juror 4 is like, well, he's a common little... He's a common thief. Let's see here. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Somehow. He's like, if you can show me that he's not all he says he is, and then victim 4 is like, he's not all he says he is. To whose statements do you refer? Juror number 1. Eh? What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas. Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true, we don't have evidence as such, just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor. Apologies. Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. Ooh, jump scared him. If I could show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. And so he shall, hopefully. Do the reconsidering thing. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll hold to it, as I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Yay, more trial. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Why are you so surprised? Victory! Not quite. Closer. Order? Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord and order the trial to continue. Most excellent. Most pissy prosecution. You have spoilt the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gas man speaketh that which concerns him most. Naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright awhile, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Oi! What did you just say? Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart. You flowery-mouthed, pompous beanpole, just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspear, if, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. Oh, he's playing with the little... Okay, that's actually kind of cute. That's just the little ribbon on the hat. It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. Did you know strychnine can be inhaled and have the same effects? So it might not have been in the tea. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4? Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gasman's honor. Very well then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord. It'll be my pleasure. On the If I may, my lord? Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Woohoo! Yeah! Sweetness, honey! Yeah, 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 yeah! He's so excited. Why is he so excited about this? Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Ooh, it's gonna sting, you mark my words. Oh. Miss Queen Bee. Yeah, she's bee-themed. So you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel. Yes, is that clear, my good man? Clear as Altamont gas, my lady, which is the clearest in the world. He's so excited. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. The Altamont Gas Company's investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept threepenny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow, he's using all the flamin' gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Pray, forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. Oh, are you just a functional day drunk? What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zykes? Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That's all that should concern this court, and yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. Stop that. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your eastern island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Do what you will. Lord Van Zykes appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Alright, may as well press all the statements.
Hold it!
Because I don't know what'll be important. So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? That I do. I have to try to catch people when they're in, and I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shamspeare? Ah, interesting you should bring that up. So I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survived the winter is beyond me. Really is. Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman? Not much to say, really, but as you wish. Altamont gas meters accept threepenny bits. Each coin giving customers about 2 hours. So all London houses that have a gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the height of technology, developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3p coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins a night? Bit more than that usually. They have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Saseki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Nostume's room, actually. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, gasmen like me visit properties on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. Must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been pinching gas off us for ages! And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it? Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamspeare Special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation when I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said. You what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. Huh. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. Do you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jemmied open anywhere. Not a single side. And what's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation. In a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh? Right here! No wonder they call you Meterman. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Gas meter. Do you know what we do when something enters the court record? Definitely. Although, at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Examine. Alright, we got the indestructible lock. Very sturdy looking padlock. And the money box is sealed with beeswax too. So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that words. Mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway. It's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. It does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Tubes. There's the meter part of the meter. A coin slot. And a hole. That feels important. Oh, Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole, don't you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Which means Quinby probably didn't notice either. Or Meterman. It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspear? Possibly. Seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. It certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through here. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. There's a hole. Other than that, there's a whole lot of nothing. Ugh. Meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with. Mm-hmm.
Hold it!
There's only one key for all of your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But, even if someone had managed to somehow get a hold of a key, we'd know if the coin box had been opened. Oh, how? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans as it happens. Would you care to explain? Well now, in order to empty a meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see? A seal? Like the sort of thing you'd put on an envelope, you mean? Something like that, yeah. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal. Now, in the case of Mr. Shamspear's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said. Yes, you did said. You did, in fact, said that. But the seal hadn't been broken either. So that would mean Mr. Shamspear somehow managed to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it. Would seem so, but that would be impossible. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny.
Hold it!
How do you know he's been using gas, though? Well now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. And on every single occasion, his lamps have been blazing and his stove pounding. It's the middle of winter and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says, "Get thee to a nunnery." Hamlet, indeed. I could wring the bloke's neck and get all hot under the collar, but still, every time I open that flamin' meter, it's empty. He's robbing me of my salary, too. What's wrong with the world? Where's the justice? But how can Mr. Shamspear possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand. The simple explanation is right before your eyes. What? A toast to you eventually realizing the gas man could be an accomplice. You what? Lord, eminently plausible indeed. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, please, Lady Quinby, I'm a faithful worker. And besides, if the money us gasmen collect doesn't tally with how much gas has been used, you dock our pay by the same amount. So you'd be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly, that makes no sense. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war? No, no, no. I'm not going to stir up that hornet's nest. If I went stealing from the company, I'd be finished. It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim, because Mr. William Shamspeare is innocent. Shove it. Pray, forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Nipponese friend was clearly under. Ugh. I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know, but it does seem that way, but the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh, it might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact, they're intimately connected. We have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. The Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamspeare so earnestly. There must be something to it. But then, how has he been managing to steal their gas? Yep. Meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, you say. Shippo.
Objection.
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! Telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right! You're quite right! There is a little hole there. Meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened up the hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is... We don't need to know how it's dismantled. We figured that out. How does it tell coins apart? How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work, presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know the coin it's been fed is a threepenny bit? Threepenny. Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see? Other coins just won't fit. Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it's pertinent. Actually, I'm just gonna... How big is that? Circular depression, 2 centimeters across, 3/4 of an inch. Eh. We did find this soap at the scene, did we? There were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle. That was 3/4 of an inch in diameter. But there's no sign of it now. It's important to know the sizing. As you wish, my lord. Nothing else will fit. Exact diameter and thickness of a threepenny bit. Well, we'll, Will this... I don't know if the indent is the thickness, but it's the size. So... Let's try this.
Objection.
Okay. So let me confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a threepenny bit? What was it? The item in question is this! The bar of soap! That is very obviously not the dimensions. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. I apologize. Looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here. Pivot, pivot. Soap. Hole in the soap. You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right. A depression that is approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gents. Sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. Gasp! My word, couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. Oh yeah, she's bee-themed. Don't get so pissy. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Actually, I want to look at... I presume that I have... Okay, I have. Alright. Sorry, I was just checking something. Because I feel like the teacups are involved. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a thruppenny bit. I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamspeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont, in the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. It's the hole, right? They like melted or some shit. No. I hit the wrong button. It's going to explain the hole.
Got it!
Hole. We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside. Where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap. Oh, I get it! That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? How was it red then? Mr. Shamspeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. This is relevant, I promise. I promise this is relevant. Just like that? So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? Probably. He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water. Yes. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. It is true, you'd better believe it. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? You now have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and water can render it totally useless? Yeah. I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence! Sorry? I want evidence! If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. Just pull that one. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. Look at that big old puddle. Why is there a big old puddle? Because the coins melted.
Take that!
The crime scene photograph. This is a photograph of the scene at the point where the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. It clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Almost certainly. It's a water stain, resulting from the liquid drained out of the hole made in the meter. Boom. If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful! And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shamspear is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat about the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely. Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious. Can we stop throwing wine around, please? Lord Van Zykes? I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, Counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, that Mr. William Shamspear is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. I actually looked up strychnine poisoning on Wednesday, and it was like through inhalation, through ingestion, through, I think there was another thing that was like contact through your orifices. Like if you get it in your eye, it'll like absorb. Even if William Shamspear is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. There's so much escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. You... So if they were ice, why were they red? Was the poison truly in the tea? Mr. Naruhodo. Hi, yes. What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zykes is saying? I did not mean to do that. I will raise an objection out of principle. I object. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? But, counsel, you've successfully explained everything. Not quite. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspear to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zykes just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to a lack of evidence. Oh, that's why there was no tea. He didn't... Okay. No, I figured it out. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Witnesses, plural. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learnt so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely, was the poison truly in the tea? We've all been led to believe the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
They couldn't test the tea! They couldn't test the tea! victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison. So how do you know it was poisoned?
Objection.
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection.
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Sorry, I'm checking something. That is in fact a reddish color. Perhaps. He utilized the remains of his tea after Natsume left to make more coins. 'Cause when we found the soap, the circle was red. Perchance.
Take that.
Let's play this game. Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice. Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. More bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at that time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No, you mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. It's obvious to you, but I have no idea what the red means. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. Thank you. The tea was red. Or at least reddish. What? I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in the trial. That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room, as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never. Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. So the water pump was frozen, so he couldn't get water, so he used the tea that he got as a gift from Natsume. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So, on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word! There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even one drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. And as such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all. You smug Nipponese! My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord. Understood. The drama. Woo. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zykes? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yay, more investigating. Wow. Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Woo! Did it. To be continued. Yes, I would like to save, but yes, I am going to continue. (22nd of February, 1:11, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Whew. We made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London, you were very nearly flattened several times. I don't think that's what I was talking about. But you know what? Okay. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. And now your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time. Let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything alright? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean. You better believe it, huh? Because it's happening. Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? Should be him standing in my shoes. Ah, yes, Kazuma. Should be Kazuma. It's Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same thing if he were here with us. Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. Alright. Let us boogie on down, talk to Sholmes. Sholmes, sweet. Oh, Runo and Susie! Hooray! You're back! Yes, hello. Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court? Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, wasn't it? Yes. I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Okay, you're nuts. Well, we can laugh about it now. No, we can't. But, you know. So tell me, how did the trial go? There's still more of it. That's how it went. It's not finished yet. Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zyke's an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? I mean, presumably the way he's talking. Presumably. Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, you're being a menace, got it. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yeah, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed, that is the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Okay. You're unhinged. Anyway. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Lord Barrack Van Zykes. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? I probably said that wrong. The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. Oh, so technically, Natsume going home to Japan and vowing to never return was the curse biting it. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by a high wind. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. All seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit. For the time being, at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zykes' own hand. As it happens, Miss Susato, that is quite impossible. Oh? Why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. Until I showed up. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Out of curiosity, let's do this. I'll ask about the foul smell after. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending being Japanese, as well as Miss Susato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zykes seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed, it is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? Ooh. There goes the music! It was about 10 years ago that Barak Van Zykes chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more! What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but... The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. Now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Oh, come on. Why you gotta drip feed me that? So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Oh, bye. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls among some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but in fact is merely dyed leaves with drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris? Are we testing the tea? At the ready, Hurley. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? Oh, it turns black. It's turned completely black. What a foul odor it's giving off. Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. Would appear this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. Point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation, also. Forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times! I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock-Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. So your tea test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool that hinges on an essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases then. But our case? Mayhap. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. All right. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo. See you later. Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us? You were? Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. I should hope so, 'cause you did. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later. In all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie. Alright, let's go on an adventure. I don't believe we've visited this place for some time. Well then, let's visit. It's because it's at the top of the... St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Oh yes, the rat. What do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some kind of disturbance. I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken, my foot! You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, my lady. Wish that you died from that poison. God a mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my sham spear dance! I am beholding. I wish I was not beholding, but I am beholding. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Ah, lo! 'Tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear? Marry, I do believe I am returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so darky clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Oh wow, he snapped out of the fucking Shakespearean language. Okay, unbend that. That's probably your only one. Anon! Exeunt! Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case. There's definitely a lot more to it than that. Very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Oh, Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. away she goes to pack. Alright, I should probably check-a-wreck the crime scene. Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. Hi, Gregson. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. Did you find what I was talking about? What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware. Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window, did you find it? With the tea in it. Yeah, I found it all right. There was a small amount of tea in it, and as you said, I knew it. It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. Results should be available later today. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. Can we disturb you? Can I bug you? Can I bother you? Maybe. Possibly. Perchance. Are you looking for new clues, Inspector? On Lord Van Zykes' order, yeah. Don't come back till you got something for me, he says. Oh dear. Poor you. Yeah, poor me, because we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Yeah, at least he's honest. Very different reaction to the prosecutors, or to the prosecutor-inspector relationship later in the series. Timeline-wise. Earlier in the series, release-wise. Gumshoe is like socking up to Edgeworth. Anyway, I have conversed. Hey look! It's a Herlock! Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi! What are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action, as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample? From Mr. Shamspeare's cup. Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. by liberally spraying the room with this chemical. Everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. Shoop. There. Now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How? How do I do that exactly? A little press of A on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Like this! What is that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Oh, probably like a fuck ton of stuff in here. Has prints and shit. Yeah. Why are you like crawling up the stage, you weirdo? Let's see near the envelope. No, there's nothing there. Yeah, there's prints just heckin' everywhere. There are dozens of handprints here. Good gosh. So there are a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. Ugh, sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Very true, Miss Sasato. A bit of mystery, then. Is that everything, then? That's printed? Whoa! Was he crawling around on the floor like a weirdo? Yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Perhaps he had a bad fall just here? There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. Oh, mood. Irrelevant. My grace and elegance is irrelevant to the case at hand. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Yay, I'm a great detective. Oh, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. There's no obvious explanation. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. The picture and the floorboards, where there's like a stupid high concentration. Handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean? And I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. Ah! What is it, Miss Susato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Miss Susato. So what do we have in here? Oi! What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson, stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips while we dig around under the floor here. Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Alright, you have fun, I guess. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat. No, I know, but I've never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate it once. My judicial assistant. There's nothing there, is there? There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. Then how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. The gas lamp's right there. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. Click. Ah, photographs. Hey, a print for ya. Photograph of the handprints on the wall. It's been entered into the court record. Woohoo! Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints, too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know! So am I! I'm going to look at the photo of the handprints. Yep, that's handprints. Anyway. Oh, Greggy. Greggy Gregson. Love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask, Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Yeah, and that's why he doesn't like you. You're too well acquainted. Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found in there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure! Yes, I heard. Ugh, I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard. Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi! Stop making me out to be some kind of nut. I do not care, Amazon, that I can get 40% off fashion. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now what do you not know? All the everything. See about this newspaper clipping. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. Bloke had been sentenced to death, you see. But nature got him first. Oh my goodness, he'd committed a capital offense? Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work. Into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like. But he'd hidden it somewhere and no one knows where. And now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Selden back in the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Alright, tell me about that photographic print. So this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrideb, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garrideb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you'd like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Yeah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. The hidden photograph. Ta-da. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrideb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. Alright, tell me about the box. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case. Is it locked? I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. It was either locked or empty, that's fair. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man! You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what was inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty. Rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. But the tin box does not go in the... Oh! It's Wagahai. Hi. He's a little kitty. Oh look, it's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. Wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful! Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. Oh, little kitty. Okay, anyway. He couldn't be happier now, look! I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Hate that it's referring to this calico as a he. I mean, Wagahai might be a he. But most tricolors are female. Yeah. Let's go say hi to Natsume. Tell him we fed his cat. No? Whatever, let's go back here. Chester's Strange Ways prison announced the death as convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes. Suffering with fever since the end of October. Maybe I should investigate the cat. Kitty. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. What can I investigate? Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night. During their heated literary debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think of it, I'm sure the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison. That's fiction, Miss Susato. Let's hope it stays that way. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. Fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it, if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. Alright. Suppose the other thing from the court record. Wow. Look at that guy. Well, that does nothing. Might it change the dialogue on here? Nope. Alright. I just want to double check. Because I think there's a photograph. Hey, hey. Sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked up window. With enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside. Sounds like a very wise life lesson. Only if you plan to follow a life of crime. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. Both of them are cracked. How much use are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Van Zykes? Oh yeah, who keeps yeeting his wine across the courtroom. He's so reckless with his wine glasses. His thinking is a waste and he should donate some to the needy. You can suggest it next time we meet. You ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone eat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. It's true, but if you think about it. Even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring. That's true, we don't have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. How dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there. Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamspeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Alright, now, game, if you can kindly let me do something else. Turns out Mr. Shamspeare wasn't eating the soap at all. That's right, the mystery of why he had it on a plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved. Yes, to prize his latest ice coin out of its mold. And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two. It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. Alright, will the game let me do something else now, or do I have to, like, talk to Gregson again? Today's trial. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. Yep. He was kind of a jerk. What's become of him, actually? I was told he'd been returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Let me see. Ah yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as Londoners call it. Yeah, we figured that out. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. We should probably visit the hospital later. Well, we already did. And we saw him doing his Shamspear dance. We beheld. Soseki-san took tea, but as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspear's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. Must be something in Mr. Shamspear's room that will help solve the mystery. Actually, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. We looked at everything. Heh. Game, please. Let's talk with Gregson again, I guess. Hello. Damn it. It's a gas well light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas. Now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh, yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. Alright. Can I talk to Natsume? Or something? I don't know, I'll visit the Garadebs. Oh! Plot! Or at least a timestamp. Mr. Garadeb appears to be out. Oh well. Suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Actually, curiosity. Treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. This here. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes. This is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. Bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was stabbed on the pavement, though. Expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Naruhodo-san! You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. You, sir, are a menace. I'm just going everywhere because the prison keeps giving me an empty fucking room. Ooh, Iris! Are you typing up a story? Iris? That's incredible concentration, that is. I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once. Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea. Blend third from the right would be good for you, Runa. Oh, Iris? This girl is destined for great things, I'm sure. I'm just going around everywhere so the game will, like, register that I can do things. Hey, look, soap. I don't know. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb live, all the windows are bricked up. The window tax! In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. Tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So all the windows could be opened up again, surely. Unfortunately, it would appear the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yeah, that's a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a very cheap accommodation. Seems rather pointless when you put it like that. Hello, snowman friend. I didn't mean to go to my legal consultancy. Please. Fef. Did I just, like, soft lock myself or something? It's the exact same dialogue? It's the exact same dialogue. Viewers find something inside that reveals the truth. No, see it. I did things out of order or something, and now I'm stuck. It's much the same as the last time we were in this room. Pile of books. Shouldn't poke around in here while Mr. Garradub's out. I broke it! I broke it! Well, I suppose, since I can't seem to do anything, okay, actually, I already saved. I, like, just saved. Come on. Let us try. Tech Support 101. Close and reopen. Worth a shot. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. 'Cause, hi. Tell me about the photographic print again. Thank you for this photograph, Inspector. Ooh! Slightly different dialogue. Taken outside this very building, it would seem. And the young man on the right is... who exactly? You're wasting your time, Sunshine. Like I said, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. Point out the pastime thing. Information exists for the very purpose of being leaked. See, that was different than what I was expecting. Not in my book, it doesn't. I'd rather think it's not in my book either, in truth. I don't even have a book. I suppose we'll have to try and find out for ourselves. Different dialogue for the newspaper clipping, too? Looks like this was cut up the paper just about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died of Made the headlines. Bloke had been sentenced to death. Nature got to him first. Committed a capital offense. Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work. The hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. Jewelry and the like. But he'd hidden it somewhere, no one knows where. Now he's dead. Papers loved it. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor. Suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on him back at the yard, see if I can turn anything up. See if I can turn anything up in the game! Why is it broken? Did I do things out of order and break things? Okay, why is it broken? Internet, tell me! It literally just says move to the prison after you've dealt with Wagahai. And then, well, we're in the prison. Hi. Game, please. Cat. Cat, fix my game. Did you break it? You cheeky little... It was a cheeky little meow. It's because he broke the game. Could sit and watch him forever. He may not appreciate that after. Well, we've got an investigation to get back to if it would work. Where are you? Where have you gone? Actually. Hi. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh, no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. Look back on this fondly. Really. Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Aw. Mouse. Yeah, this does appear to be broken. So it appears I am going to wrap up the stream and try and figure out why it's broken. Or get to this point in my personal game and hope that fixes. Potentially. Well, I suppose I'll see everyone next time. Because it's broken! Oh, my favorite. We love it. I shall be trying to fix it before I see everyone. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. Try again on Monday, I suppose.